back up after the Lakers became the Kings in the bubble, and it was King James versus MJ. Now, you and I looked at some criteria through which that they should be compared. Championships, scoring titles, defensive player of the year, MVPs, finals MVPs. Why did you pick these criteria to sort of really break down the GOAT debate?
Well, it embodies the regular season, first off. And usually the guy that has the scoring title, he was the guy that no one can stop getting buckets. Like that just, it says something to be that guy. And to be defensive player of the year, like usually that's two different players. And for one player to be able to do both, it starts to separate all-time greats. And then you start to add other things like scoring titles and championships and things of that nature. And so, yes, we're going to reignite the debate between MJ and LeBron, and rightfully so. LeBron has earned the right to be in this conversation now, Jacoby. I mean, he has 4 championships. They just added, along with Anthony Davis, they had a great offseason. He's going to win a couple of more in L.A., but it still doesn't take away in the race what Michael Jordan has already achieved. Michael Jordan, until another basketball player that I haven't seen comes along or is not in the league, is the GOAT in my opinion, no questions asked.
That is your opinion and your opinion alone. And the last dance in the Lakers championship was just 2 things that happened during this very strange year that sort of refueled this debate. But we cannot discuss this year without discussing some very important things that happened off the floor and the field. And that is where activism, athleticism combined during the fight against social injustice. Jalen, what did you feel about the way that athletes sort of took the lead in this fight against racial inequality?
Well, I'm really proud of professional athletes because so many times, Jacoby, we're told to stick to sports or shut up and dribble if we disagree with you. And at the time where George Floyd was tragically killed along with Breonna Taylor, it was a moment of reckoning in our country. And for the NBA, the WNBA, and multiple sports to take the stand, to use their voices, to use their platforms, it was something that was greatly needed in society.
I'm glad you brought up the WNBA because they often get overlooked for their on-court and off-court achievements, but the WNBA truly led the charge when it came to the fight against social injustice. And I think that we would be remiss if we did this show looking back at the year and celebrated the intersection between activism and athleticism and did not celebrate specifically the work that those young women have done in this vein. Big shout to them. Jalen, it is now time for a special holiday edition of Soft Move or Boss Move. Jalen, we always say we give the people what they want, and part of that is listening to the people. So for this special holiday edition, we asked you, the viewers and the listeners, to give us some questions that were holiday themed. And here's the first one that we got from Instagram, and it is the following, and I love it. They asked the question, soft move or boss move? Combining one big present for my girlfriend's birthday and Christmas since they're close to each other. Jalen, you have a January birthday as well. Can you combine a birthday and Christmas present for your girlfriend?
That's a soft move. It's a cheap move. And it's a move that is going to keep you in the boyfriend zone. Never get you engaged. Definitely never get you married. Will not establish a family with a guy like you. Are you serious right now? There are 2 different days. You give 2 different gifts. You give 2 different acknowledgments. Never try to act like they're the same. Never, ever do that.
Even if their birthday is on Christmas, you still have to do separate gifting. Moving on to our second question, Soft Move, Boss Move Holiday Edition. We got this one from Instagram. You can always follow Jalen and Jacoby at Instagram. And it is as follows. Soft move or boss move? To put cheaper liquor in more expensive bottle for the homies. We're going to watch hoops all day on Christmas, and I can't have them drinking all my good stuff. What do you think about Terrence putting the cheap booze in the expensive bottle for the homies? Soft move or boss move?
Big Sean said this. It's a lot of people in your circle, but not necessarily in your corner. So let me get this right. You calling them homies, but then you don't want them to enjoy your expensive liquor. So you're willing to take the time to put cheap liquor in a bottle in front and hide it like it's expensive liquor? Dog, this might be the softest thing I heard of all time.
Soft move. But watching basketball all day on Christmas and NBA Countdown, boss move. Moving on to our final holiday soft move or boss move, and it is this one. Now, this one is interesting, Jalen, because we all sort of find ourselves in this situation. Soft move or boss move, having two separate gatherings because of family members are beefing. Now, number one, let's be very careful this year when it comes to family gatherings because of the pandemic. But Jalen, having two separate small COVID-friendly social distancing gatherings because two family members can't get along. Soft move or boss move?
Well, this is smart, and families do this for different reasons as well. Sometimes you don't want the larger group of the family to get together because it's easier to feed a small group. And so I think this is intelligent to do what you got to do in order to keep harmony. I like this move.
That is a boss move. Thank you so much for your questions on Instagram. We really appreciate you so much. Thank you for joining us on this holiday edition. We will continue. Make sure you stay tuned. We have much more for you right after this.